take it to trial. Take it to trial. Welcome in, grab a seat, hit the like and subscribe. Cause Sweet Peas on the mic with that spicy little vibe. Got the courtroom streaming in the chat going wild. We're debating heavy topics but still laughing like a child. From objections to confessions to the judge's side eye. If it's justice and it's messy, we gon' talk about why. Every day's a new case, every moment's a ride. And when Sweet Peas in the building, we be learning with pride. Minds on deck, keep the room running smooth. Film freak therapist, you know, keeping everyone in the groove. Rachel with the facts, pretty brown girl with the sass. Moreldia and Fowler keep the peace in the chat. But Jason walks in and the ladies collapse. Chocolate, take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet Peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. Morning shows are sharp, afternoon is on fire. And we catch every moment that the court might inspire. From witnesses whispering, the lawyers trying to hard. You know Sweet Pea breaks it down like a legal tarot card. Chats cracking jokes, dropping theories on the fly. We're serious when it counts, but we still testify. Minds hold it down when the trolls try to play. If you're out of line, court adjourned for the day. But when Jason logs in with that deep hello sound, the ladies in the chat, man, they all fall down. Take it, 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 take it to trial, where the truth gets loud and the laughs run wild. Sweet Peas got the spice, she's the queen of the aisle. Chat fam rolling deep, we've been here a while. Lights on, mics up, we gon' do this right. Take it to trial, every day, every night. Take it to trial. When the sun goes down and the cases get deep, after dark gets spicy, no secrets to keep. Taboo topics, big laugh, slap, happy crew. Sweet Pea says behave, but we never really do. It's opinions, confessions, stories untold, but we handle it with heart like the chat made a goal. Hey! Take it to trial, from day to night and every wild mile. Sweet Peas million strong with her trademark style. And the fam in the chat always makes it worthwhile. Turn it up, show some love, hit the like on sight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial, yeah, we live tonight. Take it to trial. Take it to trial.
Okay, I had to end the other stream. So now that we got that ended, I'm waiting for all of them to come over. I have ended the stream. I ended that stream. Everybody should be coming over, getting settled in, hitting the like button as they're coming in. Thank you, and welcome. I have saved the information in regards to our spot for TT's trial. So we'll go back into looking at day 7 tomorrow. What we have, what we have left for day 7 tomorrow. As you can see, our judge, he's pretty much on time. Like I can't say that about him. He like minutes early. So that's pretty nice. Like he's really doing that stuff good, in my opinion. So that's a good thing. So we will get in here. I know I feel like I've been on here all day. You know, I've been on here already. What is it? I've already been on here 7.5 hours because remember we started early, like 5 in the morning. 5 o'clock in the morning. Where you gonna be? Outside on the corner. Yeah, it was me and Martina. We started at 5 o'clock in the morning. At least it was 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. But yes. We have we were here early in the morning, so we've been up in here. It's like I'm like, oh, it's been a day of a day of a day of a day. But okay, let me get us in here. Let's go ahead and start off with our coverage for today. Let's get the moving. Let's get the moving. Oh yeah. I can do my wake up thing. Look. He looped it around for us, baby. We got about 5 minutes of good action. Yeah, we got a lot of action. We got about 5 minutes worth of good action. Shout out to OnlyFans, boy. I tell you, we got about 5 minutes of good action time. I tell you, it make me want to get out of my chair and start jumping up and down and go like I'm in a rock concert, like head banging music. That's what I want to do. So shit, if you asleep, damn it, that should wake you up. You know, I've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, I need that. Morelda need that. We need that type of action. All right, guys, let's go into court. Let's see what we got going on.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's formally called the matter of State versus Grist. Not up yet. Give the computer system a moment.
That's always the tough part.
so it's formally called the matter of State versus Grist, case number 241101170. I've been informed that the jury is all present, ready to go. Mr. Pomeroy, on behalf of the state, is the state ready?
Good. State is ready, Judge.
Mr. Baseball, on behalf of the defense. Are you ready on behalf of the defense? Anything we need to put on the record or discuss before we bring the jury out?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring the jury out. Get started a couple minutes early. All rise for the jury. Thank you. Please be seated. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I'd like to thank you again for being on time. I have to tell you, you're the most on-time jury I've ever had. So thank you. Attorneys tell me they're ready to proceed forward. Mr. McCovey.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would recall Diane Restelli.
Mr. Restelli, to come forward again, I'll swear you in for today's testimony as we've had an overnight break. Good afternoon. If you raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah, penalty of perjury, that the testimony you give in this matter today will be true and correct, so help you God? Thank you. Please have a seat up there. It's a hot here, Mr. McCovey.
It's a little bit.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Mrs. Restelli.
Good afternoon.
I know yesterday we got to talk a little bit about Matt and kind of the relationships there. But do you know who Tracey Grist is?
Yes, it's my son's mother-in-law.
And do you see her here in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point to her and identify something she's wearing?
She's wearing kind of a dark blue dress.
Well, court note for the record, she's identified the defendant.
So noted, thank you.
When did you first meet the defendant?
Pardon me?
When did you first meet the defendant?
Oh, probably sometime before they were married, probably, at the house.
Okay. You recall roughly a year?
It was before that, probably several years before.
So 2016-ish?
I know I saw her in 2016 and maybe a little bit before that.
And how many times do you think you've spoken to the defendant?
Maybe, if you count the telephone conversations, maybe 6 or 7.
And when was the last time you saw the defendant in person?
I believe it was at a Walmart in like around the time of May of 2024.
Okay. Was that just a random meeting?
She had come in to visit her daughter and they'd asked if I would come meet them at the store briefly and do a little shopping.
Which daughter was she visiting?
She was visiting Kate.
Okay. So was she with Kate and Matt at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you find out that Kate had taken the kids and left from California to Utah?
It was sometime in that early week of June. I don't recall if it was, I think it was, the mother also informed me that Kate had gotten there safe and she was taking a breather.
Okay, so you talked, who did you find out from?
I'm not sure if I heard from Matt briefly, and then I heard also from Tracey.
Okay, and what, do you remember what that conversation was about?
It was just very brief, and I think we even had some text messages, or it might even been a text message that we had between us, you know, that she was there and got there safe.
Okay, did you ever talk to Kate about it?
No, Kate had no conversations with me about it at all.
And when was the last time you talked to Matthew?
I talked to him about 2 hours before the murder.
I think we talked about it a little yesterday, but do you remember what kind of, what was his mood at the time?
His mood was fine. He was a little frustrated over something that happened at a short order food place. But he seemed fine. He had water, he had food, and he was well awake for the drive.
And when did you find out that Matthew had died?
I found out the following morning, sometime around maybe the 7-8 o'clock-ish hour. I got a phone call from Tracey.
The defendant?
Yes.
And what did she tell you at that time?
Basically asked me if I was sitting down and was my husband with me. And I said yes. And then she said, quote, "Matt is dead."
And did you talk to her again after that?
I was pretty much speechless. I thought it was just a dream. I mean, I didn't comprehend it at that time. And I ended the conversation and said, "I'll have to talk to you later."
Okay. And did you talk to her again?
Yes, we did make another phone call.
And who were you with when you made the phone call?
I was with Mark, my son. I asked him to come over and explain to him that Matt was dead and I don't know any circumstances. And I asked Mark to come over.
And did you record that phone call?
I believe we did.
Why did you record it?
I didn't really think about that. I think it was more of my son's thought that we needed to know just the details and just remember the details of what had happened.
Okay. And after that phone call, what day was that again?
That was on a Saturday, I believe.
So was it the next morning after, or do you call it time of day that phone call was?
I think there was one, I think sometime that day, Saturday, I believe, and then we had another phone call later.
Did you record that one as well?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I'd like to play what's been marked as State's Exhibit. I'd like to play what is marked as State's Exhibit 34.
Any objection, Mr. Facebear? No. Thank you.
Okay, can I stop it there for a second? Is this the first phone call that you recorded?
It could very well be. I didn't really hear all the words, but it seems to be.
I think we can play it through some more.
She probably won't answer the phone now. All right, Tracey, you have to tell me.
Okay, push pause. Is this one of the phone calls you recorded?
Yes,
Do you recall which one it was?
I think it was the one on that Saturday.
The first one?
Yes.
Okay. State would move to admit and publish to the jury, Your Honor.
Any objection to admitting and publishing?
State's Exhibit 34.
So ordered, thank you.
How are you handling this? What's going on?
You're kind to ask. I'm not handling it well at all. I'm freaking out and I don't know what to do. I'm in a hotel because I can't go to the house right now.
Okay, and what is there a police report?
I have no idea.
Okay, did anybody, what, you have no idea?
Tracey, this is Tracey. This is Mark. I'm here with my mom. Like, can you tell us from the beginning what you know?
Yes. So, let's see. Matt was on his way to the house to my house because Katie and the kids are here. And they were Kate was undetermined whether she was going to talk for a little while, go right away back to California. It was not abundantly clear what the outcome was going to be of Matt coming out and talking. So about 10 o'clock last night, he got to the house I was in the kitchen and I was sitting on the counter. I was alone in the kitchen and I did not hear the doorbell ring. I didn't hear a door knock. And Matt was in my dining room. And I knew he was due to come over to my house, but I didn't expect to look up and see him there. He was really, really mad and like very agitated, for lack of a better term. And you're fine. I stayed in the kitchen. I said, Kate's upstairs, but she's gonna come downstairs. And I stayed in the corner of my kitchen because I was feeling uncomfortable at that moment. I was very thrown off that he was inside the house and I didn't know it. And then he went around the corner and then I heard gunshots. I don't know how many, probably 4, I think.
Jesus.
And Matt was on the ground and he had a knife in his hand. And we called 911. And I told Katie to stay upstairs while I called 911 because I didn't want her to see it. And I wanted her to stay upstairs with the kids. They were sleeping though, and I didn't know they were sleeping. And the police came and separated us, talked to us, and I not slept for 1 second. So that's why I'm really upset, and I'm in a combination of shock and sadness. And so my son, Kevin, was taken to jail after 6 or 7 hours, and I don't know what's going to happen.
Did
That's,
before the gunshots, did you hear an altercation? Did you hear
no,
screaming? Nothing. Just
no, I don't. If there was noise, I didn't hear it or I don't remember it.
when you saw Matt with the knife like, in his hand.
I personally did not see him walking with the knife. I saw him on the ground.
Was it like
Immediately
like
after.
a pocket knife? Was it like a?
It was like
kitchen
oh
knife?
golly, like it.
Like Matt doesn't
Somebody-
carry a knife typically.
Okay, well, I don't.
I'm just wondering. I'm trying to put this together. This is mind blowing.
Yes, I agree. It was. I can't think of the way to describe it. It's like a tactical knife.
Did so the kids never woke up. The kids are still what with Kate? Where
There was me and Katie in a hotel room.
okay.
And she was just trying to Google how to tell children because she hasn't told them, but she wants to be able to do it in the healthiest way. And I don't know how to do it.
I don't know how to do it either. I guess my only suggestion would be to take a minute while everybody's emotional. But so do you know what where they took Matt?
I do not know.
I'm assuming the so you said they took Kevin to jail.
Yes.
I'm guessing that the house is a crime scene at the moment.
Yes.
what's the address and what's the law enforcement agency that was there that we can call to find out where Matt is?
American Fork Police Department. Mark,
Yeah.
Mark,
Yes.
I'm really sorry for your loss. Genuinely sorry for your loss.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. This is,
You don't have to say, I'm just saying it.
what's the house number?
114 South, 920 East, American Fork, Utah.
Now, was there any, I mean, I know Matt probably, I mean, driving out to Utah, probably not the happiest, but was there an altercation on the phone before this? Like, was there,
I personally have no idea. I was at work all day yesterday, and I have no idea.
I know I spoke to Matt about 7:20 that night. He said he was 2 hours out from Utah, and he was excited to be able to pick up his family and children. And I know I left a message a little after 10, that he arrive. So I know I had a conversation with him, and, he was very calm, wanting to bring his family back.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that either. I don't know what to say. I
He had never-
didn't
he had
see
never-
anything myself. I saw zero. I stayed in the kitchen because I was feeling uneasy, and my reaction usually is I freeze. If there's
Did
some
you
emergency,
know that your son Kevin had a gun in the house?
it's my gun, and it was in a gun safe, and I moved it from my bedroom to the garage.
to the garage in a gun safe, or?
Yes, in a gun safe, yes.
And your son Kevin knew where the gun was?
Yes, he moved it for me because I wanted to make sure it was really high up. Because there was children in the house, and even though it's in a gun safe with a code, I just wanted it high up.
Was there a reason for the gun to be out of the safe? Like
The
prior to Matt's arrival? Or was it, like, did it come out of the
I don't
safe
know.
when
I
you
don't
got
know
there?
when.
Was it a scramble and race for it? Like, what?
I do not know.
Yeah.
All right. I guess if there's any more information that you can share with us, later, please do.
Of course.
I am still in major shock, and I'm hurt to the core because I know how much he protected Kate through all of this. He never spoke poorly of Kate. Never. And he was really looking forward to bringing the family back.
I didn't want to make this call, by the way, so I'm sorry.
Nobody wants to make a call like this.
All right. Anything else, babe?
No, I think we're
Please-
just gonna have to
please
get,
keep us-
we just
please
have to
keep
get
us
details.
informed.
on-
As to what the plans are.
Hey, Lucas, I think he's at the house right now,
At whose house?
at Matt and Kate's house. Matt, there was a fire at Bell Lake, and they evacuated Bell Lake Campground, and Matt asked Lucas to go to the house. But I don't know if he went or not.
Okay, I'm gonna have to think on that. This is gonna,
I mean,
this is going to crush,
I
this is
think-
going to crush
I
Lucas.
think we need to have him come here. I don't think we
I
can.
think
tell
that's-
him-
I
don't
think-
think we can
yes.
tell him over the phone. I think he needs to come here.
He's out there protecting property.
And
right now.
Kate,
But right
Kate
now,
doesn't have her phone. Kate doesn't have her phone right
I
now.
get that
Kate
Lucas is,
doesn't have her phone?
No,
Where's her phone?
the authorities have her phone.
Okay, okay.
She gave them permission and her passcode and everything.
okay, yeah, I'm gonna see, we gotta get Lucas to come here
Okay, all right.
without,
we'll
without
get-
telling him, or I'm gonna have to go out there
Okay,
and go tell him.
okay, we will work on that. We have, because.
But we
he's
can't
in a
tell
very
him,
delicate
nobody
state.
can tell him over the phone.
Oh, he's gonna just. crack
We
up.
can't tell him over the phone.
Right, and that's,
Okay, let us handle that.
yeah, and then the reason I called home in before I called you is I wanted to make sure that he was near you, because I knew you'd be able to tell by my voice that there is something really wrong. I was trying to do what you're doing for Lucas.
Okay. Okay, well, we're gonna figure out how to handle some of this stuff. Call us back immediately if anything changes or if there's anything new.
Of course I will.
Okay.
Right now I'm kind of, I'm also just, my head is swimming, and so I'm probably not being much help.
Okay, all right, keep us posted.
Okay.
Sure, thanks,
Okay,
bye.
thank you. Well, shot him 4 times.
How long after did you make the second call?
I think we had another phone call. I think it was on Sunday. Kate had reached out by, I think, text or something that she wanted to talk to me.
And you recorded that one as well?
We did.
And who was involved in that phone call?
That was going to be my son, Mark. I was over at his house. It was Tracy and Kate. Tracy was there too. And
State would,
myself.
state would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 35.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. So ordered.
Hello?
Tracy, it's Diane.
Hi. Katie's downstairs and she wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
Let me go get her. Answer. Katie, Diane just called. She's on the phone. She's coming.
Okay.
We're stepping outside so the kids can't hear anything.
Where are you?
Right now on the back patio?
Of your house?
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
I'm so sad right now.
I'm unbelievably broken.
I know you are sad, Diane. I can't imagine how sad you are right now.
So tell me what's on your mind.
I want a proper memorial for me. And the kids are my concern. The kids are so sad.
This whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
I understand where it wouldn't make sense. It is so sad. I didn't want this to end. I wanted us happy.
You know, we came there to help you.
He didn't, I don't think he told you everything, Diane.
And neither did you.
And we were trying to keep you out of it because we had issues prior.
But your
And
mother,
we were trying to make it better on our own. And he was coming here to have a conversation. Okay?
why
Whether
was,
he left with the kids and me or just the kids, It was all gonna be a conversation, or alone. It was all going to be a conversation. It needed to be face to face.
And how come that didn't happen?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did he correspond with you on his drive to the house?
Slightly.
So you knew he was coming.
And he was agitated coming. And then he was upset that he was coming.
How come there was a gun that was out?
I don't know.
And who owns that gun?
And I think, Diane, I was not downstairs. And to the best of my knowledge, that gun was in the garage.
And I don't understand why that was part of the greeting for Matt coming to the house.
I don't know, Diane. Honestly, I don't know. I wish I could give you more answers.
After Matt was fatally shot, did anybody try to give him medical assistance in the house?
Yes,
Who?
my mom.
And what did she do?
I don't know. I was upstairs.
And how soon was, 911 called to help you guys?
Immediately, a neighbor called.
And so how would the neighbor know that Matt was fatally shot?
They heard gunshots. My mom couldn't find her phone.
I still don't understand why there was a gun that was present in all of this. And why your brother had to be,
I don't know.
and why your brother had to be the go-between.
I don't know.
I am so broken.
As am I, and I believe you. I am in shock right now.
Three children,
And I-
three children don't have their father anymore because of the violence that took place in that home.
That is so sad.
How come Kevin didn't call 911? How come Kevin
I
didn't call?
don't know, Diane. Did you talk to Lucas?
I did, and he is absolutely saddened to his core in this event, as we all are.
Where is
I
Lucas?
still don't, he's with family. I still don't understand why a gun was brought to this discussion. When you knew, when you knew he was coming, you knew he was coming, and whose gun is it? And how did your brother get access to it? And who else knew he had a gun that he was going to use in this fight?
No one, I don't know, Diane.
And what did your brother say happened? What did
I
he tell you?
haven't talked to him. I don't know.
And you don't know what he shared with even your mom.
I have no idea. Kevin hasn't talked to my mom.
You do know that this is totally out of character for violence to occur like this.
I don't think that's true.
But you did have conversations with Matt and you knew he was coming. I was under the impression that I didn't know you guys were actually having a separation. When did that
Because
occur?
we were trying to make it work and trying to resolve it.
But I didn't know the word separation. I didn't know the word separation was in the midst. That you guys needed time off, and the way you left with me, you were gonna go be with your family for a while and have a little vacation. And that's
what it was.
and
That's
that's
what it was.
and that's
he
what
was
it-
coming out to have a conversation,
to figure out if that's what we wanted to proceed forward.
So really,
And whether
it was a vacation for you to come out. And I understood too, did you want to come back?
Yes. And it was honestly, it totally depended on the conversation that Matt and I were about to have, face to face. Because he can act any way on the phone, but how you act face to face is completely different. I wanted to have a conversation with him face to face before I got in the truck with him and went home.
Well, again, I was unaware that this was a separation. I thought it was just a little breather for you because.
We were trying to work it out between Matt and myself.
Yeah. And I don't know that, I also was under the impression that you were going to try to come back and rent a car. What happened with the car rental? What happened with the car rental? Because I thought you were.
Because I have an out-of-state driver's license, I could not rent a car on my debit card.
Mhm.
My mom hit some hurdles and had no money. Her water got turned off at her studio, so she lacked hours, and she had an unexpected expense that she had to pay.
Because that's why I was very happy that, after 3 weeks that Matt was going to help bring you back, because there was, these things these glitches that were preventing you from, joining as a family.
I understand. We were working on things and trying to make it work, and there were points where it was clear to me that he didn't want to go in the same direction I wanted to go in. And I feel like he knew I felt like that, and he was upset.
Do you think that Matt was really going to kill your brother?
I have no idea.
And do you believe that this particular shooting was justified that occurred in that house, that being killed was justified?
Diana can't answer that question.
I hear your mom in the background. She's giving you answers. I was hoping that you were speaking
This
from
is
your.
all still under investigation.
I was
Diana.
hoping that you were speaking from your heart.
I am trying to speak from my heart without saying the wrong thing.
And also I read in a brief article that showed up that your brother was found with drugs. Did you know he was on drugs?
No, I had no idea he was on drugs. Not a clue he was on drugs.
And that was an information that your mother didn't share with you either, with him living
How
or
would
being
she know?
around that home?
How would she know? She doesn't know. She's over 18. Why would she be checking his drawers? He acts completely normal.
Well, and I'm still questioning, why was there a gun in the house? With children in that house,
It
why
was
was,
in the garage, Diane.
but it wasn't in the garage when the shooting took place. The shooting did
I
not
was
take,
gonna say, it was
the shooting didn't take place in the garage, it took place in the house.
in the hallway. I understand.
I know, but this was,
I-
to me, somebody brought that gun out of the garage.
I was not downstairs. I do not know what happened, okay? I cannot give you any answers, Diane.
Did you, it also said in the article that,
I
That
am not going
Kevin-
to answer any more questions about what happened. We can talk about a memorial service for Matt if you'd like, but I don't want to talk about what
Well,
happened anymore.
I
don't
think-
appreciate the way you're talking with me.
I just want to know, you are the person that was there and a witness, and I was
I
not.
was upstairs, Diane. I was not a witness.
But you heard the gunshots, why weren't you, did you go down and give assistance to
My
Matt?
mother came upstairs and said, do not come downstairs. There's something happened, and I'm calling 911.
But I also thought that your mother was giving, first aid to Matt. How could she be upstairs when she should have been down assisting Matt in his time of need?
There's 8 minutes or 4 minutes. There's a
Minutes count when someone,
Once she figured out that she couldn't.
minutes
say,
count
"Fran,
that somebody's bleeding to death. And the number of shots that they're saying took place is totally unimaginable. And what gets me is you knew he was coming and he was there and happy to do so. But someone
He was not happy with me.
someone brought that gun in the house and turned it into a different fight. As far as a memorial service for Matt, you're the one that has the married woman, you're the wife, you have all the cards in your hand for that event. So, you will have to do what you wish to do.
Okay, I have no money for any of that, so I will figure out how I will do that then.
I don't understand even why you would want a memorial in light of the fact that Matt is being made as the negative person in this whole situation. I don't see where all of a sudden you want to have a memorial, something, positive for him, when this whole thing came down to, quote, a separation and all the other things you're saying. I don't know where this part's coming from.
Because he's my husband. I don't understand where you don't.
Where
You don't get that.
you is stated or was stated that Matt had a knife. Where was the knife when he came into the house?
His hand.
And where was the knife after he was shot down?
His hand.
And you
I don't know, Diane. It was the most traumatic thing walking past his body. Okay, I didn't want to look.
How could the knife be in his hand if she's providing life-saving care?
And again,
The
Tracey,
layout of the house. The garage is next to the living room.
when Matt fell to the ground, he still had possession of the knife in his hand?
Yes.
And during all,
To my knowledge, yes.
and during all the life-saving
feel-
measures, the knife stayed in his hand?
I don't know.
There's a lot of unanswered questions here.
For everyone.
I am absolutely stunned that a family, can have such violence take place. And, you're just going to have to share your plans with me, because I am stunned. Is your mom still standing there?
No, she went inside.
I have more questions for her.
If you would like, I can easily call her back out here. She's just inside with the kiddos.
Okay.
Okay. Mom, you want to come back out here? Hi.
You know, Tracy, I'm still concerned as to, you know, the fact that Matt was shot multiple times. And when were you able to give life-saving measures to Matt?
I'm in so much shock, and I can't have the conversation going over the experience again because I am so sad. I just need some time.
Well, and I think the part that really disturbs me is that a number of the shots were in Matt's back.
I actually have no idea where the shots were.
Yeah, that's what's being reported. That he
I
was,
don't know if that's
he
accurate
was,
or not.
he was
so I
not,
don't.
he was not moving forward in any aggressive manner. But was shot in
I
the back
have no
Multiple-
idea.
multiple times. That
Again,
was,
I have no idea.
and does your son have a history of anger issues?
Absolutely not.
Has he ever had any violent history?
No.
And you do know they're saying that Matt was found face down
Yes.
and shot in the back multiple times.
I have no idea how.
And your son has never
I
had,
have no idea.
and your son has never had any other, you know, violent issues or,
Never once.
did you really try to save him, Tracy? Did you really try to save him?
I was on the phone.
Did Kevin
try.
try to save him?
Yes.
And what did he do?
I don't know. I know he was checking for his pulse and he was trying. I don't know what he did because there was a moment that I did run upstairs and say, "Don't come downstairs, Katie."
So only he was really the one that was attempting to do something. After violently attacking Matt, he went over to him to try to help. So you were not initially there to help as much as to tell Katie not to come downstairs to assist with Matt, with multiple puncture wounds in his body.
I want to help you right now understand, but I don't think I can.
Well, you know, there's a lot of unanswered questions, and this has really,
Me too.
this has really started a monumental flow of events that have to be resolved. And I thought that they had found him, that he was face down during all of this. And how were you able to give CPR to rescue him if he wasn't face up? And yet he was still lifeless and holding a knife. This is a horrific situation. And I am heartbroken to the core over this violent attack.
I am literally nonviolent in every respect.
Well, I didn't say you were, I just said I am heartbroken. I'm heartbroken over this violent attack that occurred in the house. I didn't say you were violent. Well, Kate's going to have to figure out what kind of plans for a lot of things. And
Do you know what you'd like to do for a memorial? Do you have any ideas?
I have no idea for memorial, and I'm really not comfortable with a memorial at this time.
I understand that.
Did Matt say anything to anybody in his last breaths before he died?
No, not that I heard. Not that I heard.
It just
Nothing.
seems incongruent that a family would hold a memorial for someone that they have just violently taken away.
I'm so confused by what you just said, so I
No,
don't
I'm just saying
understand.
that a family that's just taken someone's life now wants to plan a memorial.
A memorial would be for the children's sake and for Katie and for,
But Katie, as they're stating is that she was separated and, you know, they were agitated with each other in some way, according to her. I don't know why she would want to memorialize
She
the
was
situation.
just taking some time to think things through.
Right, and it didn't have to,
The
in a
the
gun,
separation word was mine. I said, you know, they were separated, but that was just something I said off the top of my head. It wasn't something Katie had talked about.
I know, well, I'm just saying that it just seems very insensitive to do a memorial when, you know, Matt only came out there to help because no one seemed to have any money to bring her back. So I don't understand, it's almost like, I don't understand having a great memorial when the brother was already set up and ready and armed to do damage.
That is so not what happened.
He had a gun, babe. He had a gun. He was ready.
That's not true.
Then why was he armed? Why was there a gun?
I bought it. I bought that gun back when COVID was going on because I thought it was a good idea because I'm a single woman and I thought having some protection in case something bad happened would be wise.
Mhm. And you do know that the papers is also saying that he tested positive for coke.
I cannot believe that, but I believe it. What a dumb thing.
And yet he had access.
Anything about that.
And he had access to a gun. A gun that was not secured with children in the house.
It was in a locked safe high up in the garage.
And who had the combination with the lock to that safe? Obviously,
Everyone but Rory and, well, Katie doesn't, but everyone but Rory.
okay, so your son had access to get to that gun if he needed it.
Well, I asked him to get passports once. I'd asked him to get other things out of it for me.
But he knew the gun was there. He knew the gun was,
With the passport,
and he took the gun out in anticipation of Matt's arrival. While on
No, I
on
don't
coke.
think that's the case.
He had the gun when Matt arrived. Did he
I
go
have no
out to the
idea.
garage and get the gun and then
I-
shoot Matt?
I have no idea. I did not see any of that.
And
I
he-
have no idea where Kevin even was. I was in the kitchen.
You also know that the paper stated that he was not legally supposed to ever have a gun.
Yeah, he had
And yet
when
he had a
broke up
gun.
with his girlfriend, his fiance, a few years ago, 3 years ago, he was calling her incessantly. And she got a protective order, so he wouldn't call her anymore.
And yet,
And he said that's fine because he was never going to go to Chicago again.
but he also, in that order, was told he could never have a gun, and yet he had access to a gun.
Well, I forgot all about it. Since I forgot about it, there's a really good chance he didn't remember either because it was a while back and it was I forgot.
And I don't understand why Kevin was so upset when Matt arrived that he was prepared for a fight. What happened in the dialogue between the family and setting the situation up for Kevin to be anticipating trouble?
I don't have any idea what was in Matt's head or Kevin's head. I don't know what you're talking about.
But obviously Kevin was aware of some kind of relationship with what was going on with, you know, Kate and Matt, that he was privileged to some kind of dialogue
You're
Between-
wanting answers I don't have.
between all of you, okay?
You're
there was-
wanting answers I don't have.
But why would he bring a gun to the fight when he knew nothing about what was going on between Matt and Kate?
You're asking me something I have no way of answering.
Somebody knows the answer to that, because there's no way that someone would have that much anger in their heart to come
Kevin
prepared.
is the most sweet, kind, peaceful, gentle soul. Timmy and Jacob and Kevin are the sweetest boys. They're so gentle and so kind and so sweet.
But yet you just told me that he had a protective order against him because of some relationship issues with one of his
Because his
fiancés.
heart was broken and he kept trying to call her incessantly to talk with her.
Was he on coke during, how long has he been on coke?
I had no idea he's ever even done that.
It seems
I
to
had
me,
zero, I
it's-
had zero idea.
it seems to
he
me,
had-
it seems to me there was some discussion and sharing from your daughter that there was problems at home with him.
My son?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when he broke up with when his girlfriend broke up with him after being engaged, he was really, really sad, and he was just sad, and he was getting things back together and trying to, he's been working, and he's good.
Well, not good in the fact that he shot Matt, killed him, including shooting him in the back. I don't interpret that the same way you do. And especially being positive for coke and, you know, coming to a battle with a gun. He intended and was potentially going to do serious harm. In your mind, do you really think this was Kevin trying to have self-defense?
In my mind, my son was only being protective and loving and kind to the people in my home.
And why didn't
That's the only
someone
way I
just,
know my son
and
to
why
be.
didn't someone just open the door and say, hey, glad you're here. Would you like a sparkling soda? Come on in, we'll talk about it. We'd like to help as much as we can. Why didn't it end up that way with a positive greeting?
Matt didn't ring the doorbell or knock.
Well, he also knows that sometimes it wakes up the children. I know that happens. You know? I mean, that's not at all unusual. I walk into my son's
Well,
house.
he could have texted Katie.
I think he was in a lot of dialogue, and we knew he was only 2
No,
hours
he
out.
could have texted Katie that I'm here.
I think there's more, I think that she knew he was coming and arriving in a matter of minutes. And Kevin was waiting.
That is,
He was waiting, you had Kevin in there being the go-between.
you are filling in blanks with things in your mind that we don't have the answers to. Not you, not me, not Katie.
Well, I know Matt did notify Kate multiple times. He spoke to me that night. I know the time frame, and he was keeping correspondence with everyone. People knew he was arriving.
Yes.
And all this business of do you ring the doorbell and knock on the door, you knew he was coming. I think the family has a lot of explaining to do. I think that this, you know, is a very serious event in our lives. And did anybody in your family tell Matt not to come?
I didn't tell him not to come. I have no idea what anyone else did.
Because I was under the impression she wanted to come home but had no means to do it. I was under the impression that you had to pay for Pop's registration for his truck, and that you couldn't
Any part
rent,
of his rent.
and you couldn't rent a car for Kate to come home. And I also heard that the issue of something about she couldn't rent a car, so she couldn't come home last Friday. So again, everybody wanted her to have the opportunity to go home, but then when he got there, everybody was waiting for him to do something different. And this is the part that disturbs me, that if it was this volatile and that Kevin was on edge, that someone should have called and said, please tell Matt to wait a little longer. Things aren't right. And nobody, I don't know if anybody reached out to Matt and shared that. Did Kate even tell him not to come?
I have no idea.
Because this whole thing seems like a setup.
We would never plan to hurt someone.
Well, someone planned with a gun in the house. This was orchestrated.
That is so not true.
Then why was the gun in the house and not in the garage locked up?
The gun was, you're asking me things I can't answer.
You're the owner
I
of the
don't
gun.
know.
You're the owner of the gun. You're the person that's primarily responsible for the safety of where that gun is kept.
We're not making any progress in bringing peace or solving this or answering questions. So I'm gonna let Kate say goodbye to you, because I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I think there's some blanks. I think there's some empty answers. I think that there are questions that are obvious that there are answers to, and I clearly see that there was some kind of pattern, and this should have never taken place for a man who drove, over 8 hours or over 6+, just to help his wife and bring his family back home and share all the good news. And I think some soul searching has to take place amongst, what really went on and why it happened and why the violence took place in that house.
I'm really sorry that you're sad, but I'm gonna hang up and go, because you're wanting me to tell you things that I have no idea about.
Well, all I can say is that Kate is going to have to give me her plans as to what she needs to do, because, I just need to know what she plans to do as far as, where she lives, just everything. Not that I need to be the one making the plans, but I need to know what her plans are and, what's going on with all of this. All right, well, listen, tell Kate, I am also sorry for the loss. I am brokenhearted that the children will never have their father ever give them the guidance and assistance that they need throughout their lives. And this ought to really hit to the core of the family members involved. And, Kate needs to share with me, what are the plans as to where she's going to live.
I'll let her know that you brought that up,
And you do know there's live animals on the property.
Yeah, my sister was going to go figure something out with them.
And why is she allowed on the property? Why is she allowed on the property?
My sister?
Yeah,
Because she stayed there in her trailer.
but she left She left and with no word, they all disappeared the day that Kate disappeared. So you're telling me that this was an amicable leaving? And that all of your
As far as I
family,
know.
and that all of your family ghosted Matt and not sharing with him what happened to his family that day they all disappeared?
I'm so confused. So I know that my sister was gonna be there when you guys were in Vegas.
No, but she left. She left.
Right.
She
Because you
left
guys were
because
in
the,
Vegas.
she left, no, she would have stayed if we were in Vegas, but she left, and she also left when Kate left. And every single one of them would not answer the phone and tell Matt that Kate was okay and that she was going to her mom's. Everyone
I don't
ghosted
think my
Matt.
sister even knew.
Everyone ghosted Matt.
My sister didn't even know.
They didn't return any phone calls to Matt. None. None. And I think that at this point, sister is not allowed. No one's allowed on the property except those who own the property.
Okay, I'll let Kelly know. How are you gonna take care of puppy dogs?
Well, that's something they should have thought about 2 days ago. You know, Matt's been dead since Friday night before midnight. This is now Sunday. And it's amazing that no one from that family has even thought about asking us or anybody to go out there and to assist. I mean, that's heartless.
Well, why didn't, I don't even know what to say to that.
Well,
I
this
mean,
is
okay.
all part of, this is
I
all
get it,
part
Rob.
of, this is all part of when you take someone's life and don't realize all the consequences.
I've gotta go.
No further questions this time around.
Cross?
Mrs. Restelli, first off, I'd just like to say I am terribly sorry about your loss. You lost a child. That's a horrible thing. That should never happen. And I'm sorry that you had to go through this in your life. These phone calls that you had with Kate and Tracey were trying to get some answers, right?
Information, yes.
Yeah. And you got some information, but not much from Kate or Tracey. Is that accurate?
I would say just there was gaps.
And
There were gaps, yes.
gaps. Right?
Gaps in information.
And but you did learn, I guess, that and Kate said that they were separated. So you learned that Kate and Kevin and Tracey were separated at the scene. So you did become aware of that, right?
And what separated mean at the scene, the actual, the house?
Yes. That Kate told you that we were separated, and she said it on the phone call. Do you recall that?
Mean separated in space or separated in a relationship?
Not, I don't think in a relationship,
Okay.
but I think separated in space.
She does from what she said.
In that first phone call, you also found out that Tracey and Kate and the kids were in a hotel because they weren't able to return
Yes,
home because it was a crime scene.
yes.
And Lucas. Lucas is Matt's oldest child, right?
Yes.
How old's Lucas?
Lucas is 21 now,
He's 21. So he was 19 or 18 when this happened.
approximately, yes.
And so that was tragic for him to go through this as well.
Absolutely.
Well, once again, terribly sorry about your loss. I know these are hard times, and I have no further questions, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Pacemark. Mr. Batavi, any redirect?
Oh, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You ready for your next witness, Mr. Batavi? You need a short break.
Maybe just take a 5-minute break room.
Let's take a short break.
All rise for the jury.
Thank you. Please be seated. Is there anything we need to put on the record outside the presence of the jury from the state? No, Your Honor. Let's take a 5-2-minute recess. Thank you. We're recessed.
All rise. Thank you.
Man, you talk about some testimony. I mean, between the text messages and those conversations, I mean, can you imagine? And now you in court and you have to sit across from this person that tried to bullshit you the entire time about your child being murdered, and this lady sitting on the phone knowing she murdered somebody else's child just because her stank ass daughter wanted a divorce. Like, come on, like, what are we doing here? Put her all the way up under the jail cell. Like, how I'm about to get real wow. Okay, I'm gonna try not. I'm gonna try not to cut my mouth up because that is just so terrible. Terrible. And then to sit on the phone with this lady playing these little, I don't want to call them reindeer games, but playing these games, acting like she crazy. I can't stand people that want to try to make somebody else crazy when they know they up to no good. They know they didn't did no good. They would have been better off just not calling, not talking to her. Don't you think? Like, wouldn't you? I mean, it'd just be better for you just not to even talk to me. If you about to BS me the whole entire time, just don't answer my calls. And then they getting caught. I mean, I just just listening to that, and the mom, and the mom really held her composure, and she got what she, the things that she was, she wanted to get off on her. She definitely, I think she did, try to get them off. But I mean, good grief. I mean, gosh. I mean, just I don't know. But I just know that Tracey got to feel some type of way. And so when you thinking about when she got up there talking that old I want to find justice for him and his family and all this stuff. I'm thinking to myself, well, okay, if you really want true justice, then what you should be saying is, I'm going to tell you everything that happened. I'm going to tell you my part, and I deserve to stay in jail for the rest of my remaining years because I was so knee deep in this stuff. I didn't know what to do. That's when we talk about some good old justice. That's when you doing it for somebody else and not for yourself. I can't believe. I just can't believe that they doing this, and she doing this all, and she did this all in the name talking about she was trying to protect her daughter from getting a divorce. Like, are you serious, lady? I tell you, got 3 dingbats sitting in the house and can't nobody ever stop and say, this is not a good idea. This will not go well, guys. No matter how we try to play this out, how we try to plan this will not work. It just won't work. But no, they all sit up there and everybody thinking that they so smart, smarter than the next one. Like everybody just so smart. Till now we here. Cause could nobody just say, no, this ain't gonna work. And guys, I really don't. I think Kevin, to be honest with y'all, I think Kevin was just they used poor Kevin. They used him in all shape, all shape, form, and fashion. I can't even talk. They used him in every which way. And I only tell y'all that I can, you know, that they used them in every which way because you know what mom says, hey, buddy, I know that you want to off yourself, but hey, before you off yourself, I need you to off your sister's husband. Then you can go ahead and off yourself. That shows you that she didn't give 2 F's about him. I'm really surprised that even when he came in the courtroom yesterday, and it must have something to do with his appeal stuff, that he's not, testifying against mom. Because I'm like, well, for all that, you might as well testify against her because all they did was play you, boo. That's all they did was play him. They play him. And that's why I just, he didn't get charged or convicted of the conspiracy, just so everybody knows. He did not get the conspiracy charge, but he in jail for a long time too. Yeah, I think that he was special, and I think that he was depressed. I think a lot of couple things about him. So yeah. She would have to get a jobby job. Then the mom like, shit, y'all done, yeah, it's real hard to deal with this stuff, especially when y'all done went out here and killed somebody. Y'all not ready for all these consequences. No, y'all ain't ready for this type of shit. Y'all not ready for this. Y'all wasn't ready to deal with that.
Thank you. Please be seated. No, Mr. Facemeyer. Yeah, would you bring her back? Would you mind going and getting Mr. Facemeyer, Mr. Brown? Yeah. Thank you. I did. Okay. Just yell donuts or something. He'll come.
Yeah, and that could be part of it, Billy. I don't know, but I think that, I think that people can convince. I think that this mom really pressured him. He didn't testify, so I don't know. Do y'all think she gonna have to? Do y'all think I gotta look at the poll and see what y'all say?
Clerk's bringing the jury.
One moment, Your Honor. Just have my class.
Well, it'll take you a minute to walk all the way around.
She was as far as she was.
Yeah, he's going all the way in to get them, I should say. Mr. Watabe, who's your next witness?
Officer Neal.
And I assume you think he'll go the rest of the afternoon?
Officer Neal?
We'll go.
No,
No,
no, Officer Neal.
Do you mean with our witnesses today or?
no, with this next witness.
Oh, no, no.
No.
We have 4 fairly short witnesses next.
All right, for the jury.
Thank you. Please be seated. State ready to call the next witness. Oh,
Okay.
where'd Mr. Facemore? Oh,
Mr. Watabe and Facemeyer stepped out for.
just a moment. The two lead attorneys stepped out just as you were walking in. All right, Mr. Watabe, you ready for your next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. State with Officer Neal.
Sir Neal, if you'll come forward, please. If you raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah, penalty of perjury, that the testimony given this matter today will be true and correct, so help you God? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, Officer Neal. Or afternoon, apologize.
Good afternoon.
Can we state your name and spell your last name for the record?
It's going to be Anthony Neal. Last name is going to be Neil.
And what's your occupation?
I'm a police officer for the American Fork Police Department.
And how long have you been a police officer?
3.5 years.
And what's your title at the American Fork Police Department?
I'm a patrol officer.
And what kind of duties do you have as a patrol officer?
I'm responding to calls, calls for service. When people are needing assistance with something, they call into 911. That gets dispatched out to us, and we respond.
And when you respond on cases, do you have a body cam?
I do, yes.
Did you get a call on the night of July 12, 2024?
I did, yes.
And where were you dispatched to?
To a residence in American Fork. There's an apartment complex on the east end of town.
And who did you respond with?
Officer Guerra and Officer Laycock.
Were you the first people to arrive on scene?
We were, yes. All 3 of us arrived at approximately the same time.
And what did you see when you arrived?
There's a truck parked outside of the reported residence with hazards on. There's a cardboard underneath it. We arrived towards the front of the house. Officer Guerra went to the front door, and then I positioned myself out of the front window of the house to where I could see inside of the house.
At some point did you go in the residence?
I did, yes.
And how many people had gone into the residence before you?
Only Officer Guerra had gone in before I entered.
How soon before you did he go in?
Seconds.
And then what happened after you went in the house?
I observed a male that was face down in the hallway of right as the entryway of the house.
Did you identify him at some point?
The male face down, I did
Yes.
not.
Did you find out later who he was?
I did.
Who was it?
I don't recall the name.
Okay, then what
I know his
happened?
relationship with the family members.
Okay. And what happened next?
I pulled out, there's a male that was kind of standing kind of over the body a little bit with his arm folded. Later, I identified him as Kevin Ellis. I directed him out of the residence just to start securing the scene. So I pulled him out of the house and I exited with him.
And what happened after that?
We exited the house. We went into the front yard of the residence. And as I was talking with Kevin, I observed that a female was outside of the front door of the residence. I had called her over towards me, later identified her as Tracey Grist.
And then, so at that point, who else was outside?
At that time, it was me, Kevin, and Tracey.
Okay, and what happened after that?
I asked if who the person was that was face down in the entryway. She said that it was Tracey stated that it was her daughter's husband. I asked where her daughter was located. She said that she was upstairs. I asked if she had the firearm because we had reported of shots fired. She said that she didn't have the firearm, and so I asked who had the firearm, where Kevin said that he had it.
Okay. And what did you do after that?
At that point, I separated Tracey from Kevin. I directed Kevin towards the front of the truck to sit down, and then Tracey towards the back of the truck also
And
to sit down.
did you search Kevin at that point?
Shortly after, I did search Kevin's person. In his right pocket, he stated that he had his holster and identified that it was there. It was an empty holster. Left it on his person, and then continued searching him. Nothing else of note was found.
And then what happened?
After searching Kevin, went over to Tracey, performed a search on her to see if there's any weapons. No weapons were found on Tracey's person.
And at some point, did anybody else come out of the house?
After that, another female was at the front door, escorted by Officer Laycock. I directed her because she initially started walking towards Tracey, and my goal was to keep everybody separated. So I directed Catherine to a position in the yard, away from Tracey and away from Kevin.
So the third person was Catherine.
Correct.
Do you know her last name?
I don't recall the last name.
Okay. And at some point, did they stay separated? The defendant and Catherine?
After I had identified Catherine and Tracey, I went over to identify Kevin, and so I directed Officer Stimson over towards Catherine and Tracey while I identified Kevin. And at that time, I observed Tracey moving towards Catherine, so I directed them to stay apart from each other again.
And who's Officer Stimson?
Officer Simpson, he used to work for a police department. He was one of our patrol officers. At the time, he was on what's called Ghost Week, where he's being evaluated to be able to see if he's ready to go by himself as a police officer instead of being in that evaluation process.
So how long was he even a full-time police officer at that point?
He was full-time, just not by himself yet. He was still being evaluated.
How long had he been with the office?
Approximately, I want to say 2 months.
Okay. I'd like to show you what's marked. And do you know if Officer Laycock had a body cam?
He did, yes.
And did Officer Stimson have a body cam?
He did, yes.
I'd like to show you what's marked and just the witness at this point is State's Exhibit 133. Okay, do you recognize what this is? Does it appear to be a body cam?
It does, yes.
Is it similar to the one that you're issued?
Yes.
If I told you this was Officer Laycock's body cam, would you recognize it at some point?
At some point, I possibly would, because I saw it multiple times while we were there.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 133.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. So ordered, thank you.
I'll have you come out here with this officer, okay? Okay.
I don't.
You're okay. Okay. It's okay. What's going on tonight?
It was my cousin. He was supposed to come here to attack me. I was upstairs waiting for him to come inside. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I heard yelling and I don't know what happened.
Do you have any weapons or anything?
No, it's the only thing.
I'm just gonna check you real quick, okay? I'm sorry, I know this is.
No. I have my earbuds in my pocket. That's the only thing I have in my pocket.
Okay. Sorry, was that them
Yep,
that just fell?
that was
Okay.
them that did it.
Okay, you're good. I don't see anything else on it. You're good if you want to go take a seat next to her on the grass, okay? I searched her for weapons. She's good.
And who's that officer that Officer Laycock's body cam picks up in the camera?
That is me.
Okay, what have you just done in the video?
So Tracey, again, she was walking Catherine was walking towards Tracey. And that's when I directed her to a separate spot of the yard away from Tracey.
Okay, now I'd like to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 134. You recognize what this is?
This is another body cam.
You know whose it is?
Right now, I do not.
If I told you it was Officer Stimson's, would you believe that?
Yes.
Okay, can you see yourself in the video?
Yes.
Where are you?
I'm sitting directly next to Tracey.
Okay, state would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 134.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. Thank you.
What's your name, man? Kevin? What's going on, Kevin? Is this your home? This is where I live. Where you live? Okay.
All right, man, I'm gonna get some information from you. I'm gonna just hang out with those two.
Yep. I'm just hanging out with you guys. Can you what?
hold my daughter?
Yeah. You could, yeah. Were you separated by officers?
What?
Did the officers separate you two?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. If you would like to sit next to your daughter,
I
you're welcome
want to
to.
talk to her.
No, that's it. Neil, are they okay sitting next to each other? Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
Oh, can
I'm sorry.
I just hold
No,
her hand?
I do need you to be
It's fine,
separated.
it's fine.
That was my bad. If you want to pick up your phone and come back over here where you were, that would be great.
Fine.
That's okay.
When you're gonna go through an interview process, we typically will keep all parties separated. You'll stay right here with me. I'll just have you just stay separated for right now.
Kevin, I have no idea what to do, so don't say anything, please, because I don't know what.
Okay.
Hi.
This is a hard situation. We really need you to be patient so we don't have to move you guys around, okay?
Hi.
All right?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Ma'am, right now, something that would be good to do is probably just breathe. Just take deep breaths. Okay? And not speak to anybody else, okay?
Okay. Good here. Good.
Do you know what was going on when Tracy's defendant said, "I don't know what's going on, so don't say anything"?
At that point in time, I told her that she needed to be off of her phone. She was on the phone with who she said was a friend attorney. I said, just at this point in time, I just need people off their phones. And that's when I started walking over towards, this was right after I identified Tracy. I started walking over towards Kevin just to have Officer Simpson hang out with them so I could identify Kevin. And then that's when she had yelled it out over to him.
I could show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 49. Do you recognize what that is?
So that is the entranceway into the residence.
And do you know what the photograph is from?
It's from my body cam.
Okay, does it fairly accurately represent what you look like at your body cam?
It does.
Is this, and at what point is this, what point of your body cam is this? This is the first time you entered the residence?
Yes, it is.
And that's what it looked like when you walked in?
Yes.
And what do you observe in the photograph?
Right in the entranceway, there was some sandals that were right there. I noticed that as soon as you came in, there was a hallway directly in front of me, and then kind of like a living room, and then the entranceway wrapped around in towards the kitchen on the right side.
Did you notice anything later that evening if those sandals had been moved?
I don't recall.
Okay, state would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 49.
Any objection? No. Thank you.
Move to publish.
I'm sorry, Judge. Certainly. Let's take it down for a second.
Sorry to be published. And just to clarify, you were the second person to go in, seconds after Officer Guerra, is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Great. Now I'd like to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 48. Recognize what that is?
That is also my body cam. That is when we made contact, or when Officer Guerra made contact at the front door, and where I had positioned myself prior to us making contact.
And you can see the date and time up in the corner.
Correct, yes.
Was that an accurate date and time
That is accurate.
of that incident?
Yes.
And how soon on scene was that when you arrived? From this point?
Within seconds of us arriving.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 48.
Any objection? Thank you.
Get patient condition in there. Who's this? And that's inside. Hey, get a pulse. Okay, come here. Please come here. So, sorry. Who is?
In the house.
So who is this that's in there?
That is my daughter's husband.
Okay, where's his daughter?
My daughter's upstairs.
Does she still have a firearm on her?
My daughter, no.
Okay, who had the firearm? You had the
I
firearm?
already showed her where it was.
Okay,
It's inside.
Sounds good.
That was it.
so I'm gonna have you take a seat right here. I'm gonna have you take a seat over here. Just on the back end of the truck. Do we need to get a hold of one? Okay. So I'm gonna have you stand up. I'm just gonna pat you down real quick, okay? You don't have any weapons on you or anything like that? Not even made aware of?
I've only got the holster that was in my pocket. That's it.
Okay. Okay, take a seat. Ma'am, I'm gonna have you stand up. I'm just gonna pat you down for weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Anything I need to be made aware of? Anything that'll poke and or stab me?
No.
Okay. Any pockets?
No.
Okay. You're gonna take a seat. So, ma'am, I apologize. I'm actually gonna have you sit back here with me, okay? You wear a sister? Okay. I'm gonna have you just take a seat right here.
There's less for you.
Till we kind of go through an interview process, I'm just gonna kind of keep you guys separate, okay? What's your name?
My name is Catherine.
Catherine? Okay, Catherine. I'm gonna ask for some information from you, if that's okay, okay?
Yes.
All right, Catherine, how do you spell your first name?
Kathryn.
Last name?
Restelli. Restelli.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
December 15th, 1987.
1987? Okay, just stay sitting right here, okay? I'm just gonna keep you guys just separate until we can kind of go through an interview process with you guys, okay?
Sure.
I appreciate it. All right, ma'am? Ma'am? Is it okay if I just have you just off the phone just for a second?
Yeah, Richard, let me call you right back. The police officer asking me to get me off the phone.
Yeah, just for right now, just kind of while we're going through a process with you guys.
That's fine.
I do need to get some information from you. Can I get your first and last name?
Tracey, Tracey.
Last name?
Grist, Grist.
ST? Does this look correct?
Yes.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
5/28/65.
Okay. Yeah, just for right now, I'm just going to be asking you just to stay off your phone. Okay.
I was calling my friend who's an attorney because I'm worried about my son.
Okay. Whose son? Is this son over
It's
here?
my son.
Okay. You guys will be more than welcome to give them a call. This is like a friend attorney or?
Yes.
Okay. Just give us a second, then I'll let you make a phone call if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not saying that you guys won't be able to make phone calls. Just for right now. Okay.
Okay.
All right, man. I'm gonna get some information from you. You mind just hanging out with those two for a second? Let me get your first and last name.
Kevin.
Kevin. Grist, is it?
Ellis.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Ellis.
Ellis?
Yes.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
11/13/90.
Okay, does this look correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do we need to notify 1J? Or 5J1? Want me to make the call? You got it? Okay. I want them all separated for now. I apologize. Until we go through an interview process, we want to keep everybody separated. Sorry, just until we gotta go through an interview process, we typically will keep all parties separated. He'll stay right here with me, and I'll just have you just stay separated for right now. And then
I have no idea what to do, so don't.
Okay. We need people not to talk to each other right now, okay? I know this is a hard situation, but we really need to be patient so we don't have to move you guys around, okay? All right? Huh?
Kevin, is there anyone else in the house that we need to be aware of?
Our kids upstairs.
There are kids upstairs.
Our kids upstairs.
How old are they?
Young. How old are your kids, Kate?
We have kids upstairs.
Okay. 2 kids?
How many? 2.
No more questions this time, Your Honor?
Cross? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Officer Neal. So you hadn't been an officer very long when this event took place, is that right?
I had not, no.
And, but you were following some protocol, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
One of the protocols was to separate persons at a scene, is that right?
That is correct.
Is that something you're taught?
Correct, yes.
And where did you learn that?
At the Post Academy.
And when did you do post?
It was, I believe, 2023.
I'm sorry?
I believe 2023.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I didn't know if that was him or me, Judge, but and can you describe what post is?
Post is state. It's monitored by the state to be able to train upcoming candidates to become officers, teaching them protocols, teaching them about the various laws, how to read law, and then how to conduct yourself as an officer.
Crime scene protection, all sorts of different trainings.
Correct.
Am I right on that?
Yes.
And probably some weapon training.
Correct. Yes.
Just general law enforcement training.
Correct.
Right? What does POST stand for?
I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Police officer. Something. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And where did you do POST at?
It was up in Sandy at the State Post Center.
Yep, that's one of the more popular post sections, isn't it?
It is.
And as part of your investigation in this case, you separated the persons who were there, correct?
Correct, yes.
And you also had some interaction with law enforcement to assure that you were properly protecting the crime scene. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
And then also you wrote a report. Is that right?
I did, yes.
And have you had an opportunity to review your report?
Not today, no.
Did you do it in the past few days in preparation for today's trial?
I did, yes.
Okay. And in your report, do you recall when you completed your report?
Like the time?
Yeah.
I don't recall the exact time.
Did you do it on a different day? Did you do it on that shift? Do you recall when you did that?
I wouldn't be able to tell you the exact time, like the exact day of time.
Do you have your report on you?
I do not.
May I approach a witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Officer Neal, I provided you a digital copy of your report. Did you have a chance to see that?
I did, yes.
And did that refresh your memory as it relates to when you drafted your report on this case?
Yes.
And approximately when did you do that?
It was later that night.
It was
Or early in the morning.
like 3 a.m.
Correct.
And so it wasn't that many hours after you were at the crime scene when you did your report. Is that accurate to say?
That is correct.
And is there a reason why you do reports near in time to an event that takes place?
It's to try and make sure that we remember it as much as possible.
Are you trained in post to do that?
Yes.
And are you explained why you should do it as soon as possible?
Also correct, yes.
And what is the reason they say you should write your reports as soon as possible?
Just because the longer you go in between, you may forget details.
So the longer time spans, the less you remember. The shorter time spans, the more you remember about an event.
Correct.
On this particular event, you had yourself, Officer Laycock, Officer Stimson, and Officer Guerrera, correct?
That is correct.
And were there more that came throughout the evening?
Yes, there was.
And on still shot 49, could we pull up 49? I think that's the right one. You recognize this photo?
I do, yes.
And this photo is a still shot from a body cam on your entrance into the residence. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
That's the first view you see in that home, correct?
Correct.
And what's directly in front of you as you look through the door?
The sandals on the floor.
And what's eye level?
A fireplace.
Yeah, a wall and a fireplace.
Yeah.
So as you open the door, you're sort of standing in a living area. Is that right?
Correct.
All right. And is this picture what you recall in your own mind?
Correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Any redirect?
Just real quick.
When you entered the residence, did you see a screen on the door?
On the door of the residence?
Yes.
I don't recall.
I could show State's Exhibit 41 again. You see what do you see in this picture?
Just an open doorway.
You see a screen in front of it?
No.
What do you see on the right?
Right. I know what I saw when I came into the residence, but I don't recall like right immediately inside.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
This witness be excused? Yes.
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, officer. Call your next witness, Mr. Thomas.
So we'll call Detective Nicosia.
Detective Nicosia.
And maybe he be excused from his subpoena, Your Honor.
Any objection? No. You're excused then, officer. Thank you.
Switch. You know what? Just show
Officer Nicosia, if you come forward, I'll swear you in. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah, penalty of perjury, that the testimony you give this matter today will be true and correct, so help you God. Yes. Thank you. Please have a seat up there. Your water bottle if you need it. Give the attorneys just a moment. They're having a quick conference. And we'll get started on it.
Detective Nicosia, would you please state your full name and spell your last?
Wyatt Nicosia, Nicosia.
And Detective Nicosia, where are you currently employed?
With the American Fork Police Department.
And how long have you been with them?
About 7.5-ish years.
How long have you been a detective?
About 2 years.
In order to become an officer, did you go through post?
Yes.
And when did you do that? Probably 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7-ish years ago.
And did you do any sort of particularized training to become a detective?
Just in and outs of patrol work. Yeah.
It's more experience based.
Yeah.
Okay. What were your duties on July 12th of 2024?
At the time I was called out and was helped or asked to help with the investigation of this case.
Okay. And what were your overall duties? Were you on patrol then? Were you a detective?
I was in investigations as a detective.
Okay. And what were you asked to do when you were called out on this case?
I was told that an individual was going to be coming to the police department, and I was asked to prior that individual.
Okay. Did you ever go to the scene?
Later.
Sorry, prior to that interview?
No.
Okay. And who did you meet with on the evening of the 12th?
His name was Mr. Kevin Ellis.
And did you conduct an interview with him?
Yes.
Did you record that interview with your body cam?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit 89, the interview with Kevin Ellis.
89.
Yes.
Thank you. Any objection? Thank you. So admitted.
State would move to publish.
Sorry.
If we pause that there for a second. I said the evening of the 12th. It looks like it might have been the early morning hours of the 13th. Is that?
Yeah, it looks from like the timestamp. It was, just past midnight.
Okay. And who's that individual in front of you?
At the time, that was Mr. Kevin Ellis's attorney. I believe his name was Richard Bernard.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So we're just trying to figure out, obviously, what happened. I haven't been to the scene or anything, and just kind of wanted to get your side of the story and better help explain that. Obviously, you're here at the police department, so you're kind of being detained at the time as we're questioning and everything. So I just want to make sure you're aware of your rights. Obviously, your lawyer's already here, and he's present with you, but I just want to make sure we got all of our bases covered. So I'm just going to read this. Doesn't mean you're under arrest or anything, just means you're aware of your rights, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have the lawyer present with you while you're being questioned. If you're going to afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand your rights as I have explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. Having these rights in mind, are you willing to answer some of my questions?
Yes.
Okay. What can you tell me about tonight?
I was afraid for my life and I shot in self-defense.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Under the advice of counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay. Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me that you would think helped in this investigation, or?
Under the advice of counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay. All right,
I can proffer some things to you.
okay,
The victim was an armed intruder wielding a knife that was a short distance from him when he shot.
okay. So just to clarify, he was a armed intruder with a knife.
Entered the house without permission. Took him and Tracey by surprise. Was clearly agitated. Was wielding a knife, and that's the point at which he, and was to the wall, you said? Was afraid for his life and shot self-defense.
Okay. And so who is, maybe some background to this, not about what happened, but who is this gentleman to you?
It's his sister's husband.
Okay.
They have been, he and she live in California. They're having marital difficulty. Tracey invited her daughter to come to her house and have a reprieve, get away. How long had she been there?
3 weeks.
The husband was making demands that she come home. Instead, drove out to California to pick her up and take her back. And that's,
So Tracy's the mom, right?
Tracy's the mom. What's your
Okay.
sister's name?
Katie.
Catherine.
Catherine.
So sorry, just to clarify, Tracy drove out to California to pick up Catherine?
It doesn't misspeak. It was, Matt drove to Utah.
Matt is the victim.
Matt is the deceased, correct? Okay. So Matt drove here to pick up Katie. Is that correct? Okay, and then he showed up unannounced?
Picking her up is a polite way of saying it.
Okay.
His intent was to take her back.
Okay. And
He showed up, entered without knocking, without ringing the doorbell, had never been to the house before, and so was essentially an armed intruder at that point.
okay. And then did he have, when he entered the home, did he have the knife in hand or did he pull the knife out when he was in the home?
Go ahead and answer that.
Under the device.
No, go ahead, you can answer.
Okay, I didn't see him pull it out, so I'm assuming he had it in hand.
Okay. Do you know what type of knife it was or anything like that? Okay.
No idea.
But you knew, is it Mike?
Matt.
Matt. Sorry, there's so many names. I'm not good with names. It's late at night.
That's all right. So, maybe at pool, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Matt, and you knew what Matt looked like because it was obviously your sister's husband. Okay.
Years.
Okay.
But again, emphasize, he entered the home unannounced in an agitated state, wielding a weapon.
Okay. And can you describe the agitated state? How was he acting?
Under the advice of counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go take 2, take 3.
Takes as long as you need.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
We know you have a job to do. We want to help you do it and preserve his rights as well.
Okay. Okay, give me a second.
Thank you.
Detective Nicosia, I think when we started that, it was about 12:08 in the morning. Do you remember what time Kevin arrived to the police station?
I couldn't recall that. I know when he did arrive, we put him in the interview room, and then his attorney showed up shortly after and then met with Kevin. But I couldn't give you an exact time on what time he arrived.
You know approximately how long he met with Kevin prior to you interviewing him?
I couldn't even.
And that's, if you can't, you can't.
Yeah, I couldn't give you a time on that. Sorry.
Did you take other steps? Did you have any other roles in investigating this case?
I did, yes.
What was your next step?
After that night, I mean, it was a few days following that is we were asked to go, myself and Detective Wetton were asked to go up to the Ogden area and retrieve Rachel Jorgensen's phone.
And do you remember who Rachel Jorgensen is in relation to Kevin Ellis?
That is his sister.
Okay. And did you make contact with her?
Yes.
Did you retrieve the phone?
Yes.
Did you interview her?
No, she declined to speak with us at that time.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Cross.
Just to be clear, Officer Nicosia.
Okay.
When we saw the body cam just a moment ago, you were following the attorney, Richard Bernard, correct?
That is correct.
So had Mr. Bernard already met with Kevin at that point in time?
I don't recall if he, I believe so. He had met with her, or sorry, him. But I don't know why or who he was talking to from there.
Okay. And so you read him his Miranda rights?
Correct.
Is that something you learned at Post?
Yes.
And as part of Post, did you also learn how to interview persons?
Yeah, to an extent, the basic interviewing process. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've done retraining as you've been an officer on how to interview both suspects and witnesses, right?
I don't know if it was, I don't know if there's any formal training that I can recall. It's just kind of more on the job experience and everything.
Do you take continuing education in your work?
Yeah.
And do you ever have continuing education requirements, like so many hours per year or every other year?
Yeah.
And what are those requirements?
From my understanding, we have to do about 40 hours every year, and then a certain amount of hours. I know we have to do like defensive tactics and arrest control and different types of topics every year. But I couldn't tell you the exact hours of those requirements.
Sure.
But I know it's at least 40 hours every year.
And you've been an officer for 7.5 years?
Yes.
40 hours is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of hours. And so you do get frequent training, is that right?
Yes.
And during those 7 years, 40 hours a year, do you recall ever having any training on how to properly interview a witness or a suspect?
At that time, I don't recall if I'd been through the training or not, but I mean, we did, like I've been through like the FIT training, which is like the interviews with children and everything like that. But I don't know if I can't recall if that was before or after this case.
Okay.
To be honest.
All right. But you did follow the protocol of reading Miranda rights.
Yes.
Right? And as part of your process in this, you also had an opportunity to write a report.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember when you wrote the report on this case?
I want to say it was that following morning. Like I remember I didn't sleep. It was, we interviewed, and then early hours of the morning, I typed this up.
At the end of the shift or close to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there a reason you didn't wait to write that report, like when you later had instructions from Officer Nordine or someone else?
I know because Mr. Kevin Ellis was arrested that night or that morning, I guess. We were informed by our supervisors that these reports needed to be completed as soon as possible, and so we could get everything submitted to the county attorney to not delay the process from there.
Sure. In your training, are you told to write reports shortly after events?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you encouraged to write them for better memory?
Yes.
Is that your training, that the closer to the event you write your report, the better you have a memory of it?
Mm-hmm. And with my own experience as well, right? If we wait too long, it's like I don't remember anything. So
sort of a natural thing, isn't
Yep.
it? Yeah. and you obtained some while later a phone record of a family member of the involved parties of this case, right?
That is correct, yeah.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Redirect.
No, you are.
Thank you. Okay, this officer be excused.
Please, and if you could be released from subpoena.
No, thank you, officer. You're free to go.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Brown.
State will call Officer Colton Fraughton.
Colton who?
Fraughton.
Thank you. Raise your right hand, sir. I'll swear you in. Do you swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah on penalty of perjury that the testimony you give in this matter is the true and correct self you got? Yes. Thank you. Please have a seat up there.
They have identified you as Officer Colton Fraughton. Is it detective?
It's officer now, yeah.
Okay, Officer Fraughton. Would you please state your full name and spell your first and last?
It's Colton Fraughton, KOLTENFRAUGHTON.
And Officer Fraughton, how are you currently employed?
I'm employed with American Fork Police Department.
In what capacity?
As a canine officer on patrol.
And how long have you been with American Fork?
8 years.
Have you been an officer longer than that, or is that your entire?
That's my entire career.
Okay. Did you go through post?
Yes, I did.
Obviously graduated.
Yes, I did.
In July of 2024, were you also a patrol officer?
No, I was a detective.
And what were your assignments as a detective in July of 2024?
I was a SVU detective, and then just anything that came across my desk, I would work.
Okay, and SVU, what is that an acronym?
Yes, it is.
What's it an acronym for?
Special Victims Unit.
Okay, thank you. And was that your assignment on July 12th of 2024?
It was, but I was called to assist in another case.
Okay, and did that case involve Kevin Ellis?
Yes, it did.
What assignments did you receive on July 12th of 2024?
I got a call pretty late at night, just to assist patrol in a case that they were working. I arrived at 114 South 92 East, I believe, and I was asked to transport Tracey Grist to the American Fork Police Department.
Okay, and did you do that?
Yes, I did.
And upon arriving at the police station, what did you do?
After that, I was asked to interview her just on what had happened that night.
Okay, and did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Did you wear a body cam during your interactions with Ms. Grist?
Yes, I did.
And did that accurately capture your interactions with Ms. Grist?
Yes, it does.
Have you reviewed it since that time?
Yes, I have.
Your Honor, at this time, I would move to admit 2 clips, states 90 and 91, which are both body cam footage.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. Thank you. So ordered.
Permission to publish?
Yes.
We'll start with 90, please.
My supervisor did tell me just for the meantime, did want us to take your phone just for right now. Okay. So again, we'll get it back once we're done. If you need to make a phone call, so I'll give it to you. So, and I know that you had mentioned that you may want to talk to a lawyer friend that you have. So let me just give you your address again. Doesn't mean you're in trouble. Doesn't mean you're under arrest. Okay. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say you can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not have, or not answering questions or making statements. Do you understand these rights? Having these rights in mind, do you still want to talk to me? Do you still want to have that lawyer present while being talked to?
I can talk a little.
Okay, sounds good. So what exactly were you there for?
It's my house.
It's your house? Okay. Thank you. Your daughter was just visiting, staying for a visit. Okay. Were you planning on staying the night or?
My daughter,
Mhm.
she lives in California.
Oh, gotcha. So she's visiting from California. Okay. And was she there with her husband? No? Okay.
He's awful.
Mhm.
And just make you breathe her. So she came to hang out with me.
Gotcha. And she brought her 2 kids with her?
Yeah.
And they just have those 2 kids, no one else? Okay.
There's no paperwork or anything. She just came for a breather.
Gotcha. Did you go pick her up or did she fly here or drive herself? Or?
She rented a car.
Rented a car. Gotcha. And was that his truck outside of your house? Both of theirs?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and when I say his, hers, yeah, thank you for clarifying that. It's both of theirs, but so what kind of problems were they having? Do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I mean, I don't know.
And that's okay. If you don't know, you don't know, right? So,
I mean, I have an idea, but it's so nebulous, so I don't know.
gotcha. Well, sometimes little details for us kind of paint the picture and that to what exactly happened, right? So that's why I ask. When did he get here to Utah? Do you know?
I think about a little bit after 10.
A little bit after 10. Okay. And did he call beforehand? Did he text? Did she know he was on his
She knew
way?
he was coming.
Okay.
And she was going to talk with him. And I was in the kitchen, and next thing I know, he was in the kitchen. He was like, hey, I go, hi.
Do you know if they had a conversation before? Or?
I have no idea.
Okay. Kind of walk through me what was happening when you were in the kitchen. He showed up. And then what happened?
I was in the kitchen, and I was sitting on the counter because I do that, sit in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And he said hi, and then he walked into the other room, but he was acting different.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by he was acting
He was
different?
just, how agitated.
Mm-hmm.
I would say agitated.
What happened after that? After he walked away?
He walked away.
Mm-hmm.
He said, is Katie upstairs? And I said, yeah, she'll come down. That's the last. I heard gunshots. What I know are gunshots now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a gun really fired. Except for I guess something.
Okay. And what were you doing when you heard the gunshots?
Just sitting on the counter.
Just in the same spot when he walked in?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you do after you heard the gunshots?
I ran into the bottom of the stairs to go check on my daughter because
Mm-hmm.
I thought something might happen to my daughter.
Gotcha. And what did you see when you went down the
She
stairs?
was on the ground, laying down, face down.
And then what happened?
I called 911.
Mhm. What was your daughter doing all when you came downstairs?
When I came down, what?
Yeah, when you came
I
down the
went
stairs.
upstairs.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. I misunderstood. Do you know who this is?
This is the family attorney.
Oh, gotcha.
Hey,
We're here
talk
for
to
you.
Kevin, talk to Kevin.
Okay.
Kevin. So could you take me to Kevin, please?
Yep.
There you go. Is that the guy that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. There you go. He's here. Do you want him present?
No.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, when you had, I thought you
I
had
was
said that you
in the
went
kitchen on the main
downstairs.
floor.
Gotcha. So you went upstairs to see her when you heard the gunshots. My apologies. I misunderstood you
No,
there.
Everything happened on the main floor.
Mhm.
I was in the kitchen, I went in the hallway, and then, I, went upstairs. And I just said, stay here, don't come downstairs. I don't come downstairs.
And that was to,
My daughter Katie,
okay.
because I didn't want her to see.
Okay, I'm gonna just, because obviously I was confused somewhere, so I'm just gonna back up a little bit. Kind of run me through you sitting on the counter in your kitchen, hearing the gunshots, and then what happened after that.
I went and looked in the hallway.
Mhm.
Or I went to the bottom of the stairs, and that's the hallway.
Mhm.
And I don't know what else happened.
So after you went to the bottom of the stairs, then you went upstairs and
Yeah, and I
told your
just,
daughter.
she said, what happened? I said, just here. Just don't come downstairs, please don't come downstairs, please don't come downstairs. I don't want her downstairs.
And then what happened?
All right. I know I called 911.
Mhm.
And they asked if I had CPR, and I was just looking at him on the ground. And then the doorbell rang.
Mhm.
Because I think the neighbor upstairs, Caitlin, heard a noise because she asked me if I was okay. I saw when I went to call, she said, is everything okay?
And what's your daughter's name? Sorry, I don't want to keep referring to her as your daughter, Katie. Okay, and you probably mentioned that, but or Caitlin, and I didn't want to get confused. Where were Caitlin's kids at when this happened? Sleeping. Okay, and that's on the upstairs level. Okay. Where was Kevin at when this was going on?
I have no idea.
Well, thank you for kind of letting me know on your side of things what was going on. So I'll step out, and if we have more questions for you, I'll let you know. Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Did you end up having more questions for her?
Yes, I did.
So did you go back in?
Yes, I did.
Permission to publish states 91.
The objection?
Just play the first 3 minutes and 49 seconds, please. You can pause it now, there for a second. What time is it now?
1:44.
On the 13th.
Correct.
You remember what time you ended your interview on the previous body cam?
I did not.
Now she has the attorney with her, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. You going to play that? There should be audio. Just back that up 10 seconds.
No, no, not at all. Okay.
A little bit more, please.
I just wanted to kind of give you some time to think. I know you were saying a lot of I don't knows and stuff like that, but is anything else come to your mind right now? No, not at all. Okay.
I am so in shock. Like did his parents know? Did someone call his parents?
I assume someone has at this point. I've only been here with you, to be honest, so all that information I don't even know myself. The only information I know is kind of what you've told me, and then that's about it. So.
Or is Katie here too?
I believe she is, and with her kids came with her, yeah, so they're not alone by themselves.
Where's Rory?
Rory went to Rachel's house.
In Ogden?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I don't even know. Is that
That's
another one of the kids?
daughter.
Rory's
Sure,
my
yeah.
daughter, Rachel's
Youngest
my other daughter.
Gotcha. Okay. So just to be like candid, I kind of feel like you do know a little bit more than you're letting on.
Nope.
Okay.
It was, he appeared
And
and I was in the kitchen. And
I guess
did
I'm
not see-
more talking about with kind of stuff with Kevin.
With Kevin?
Mhm.
Nope.
Not at all.
No idea where he was. No.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, honesty is it's the best policy
I'm
when it
telling-
comes to.
I almost
to
know
us.
nothing.
Okay.
She schools me on being honest.
Well, good. We always need someone looking after each other, right? To be honest and forthright, right? So, and again, that's just
And
kind of
I've
the vibe
told-
that I'm getting. So.
And I've told her
Mhm.
that the most important thing is to be honest and truthful, and we can decline to answer if we
Mhm.
want to, and she will do that. But she's not, so far as I know, withholding anything.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I just wanted to come in here and see if you did remember anything, because again, like I said, I know you were saying like a lot of I don't knows, and so I just wanted to see if you remembered anything else and talk it with a little bit, but nothing comes to mind at all.
I interacted with Matt for like maybe 3 seconds.
Mhm.
And I didn't see Kevin. And Matt went around the corner and by the time I got, I don't even know, I didn't see anything. All I heard was noise.
What were the noises that you were hearing?
The shots.
That was the only
Yeah.
noises. There was no conversation, no confrontation at all.
Not that I heard.
Gotcha.
Have you been to the house? Do you know the layout?
I haven't. So I got to the house, but I never went in. The most I did was walk up to Tracey and say, hey, they want me to take you to the police department. That was about it. So literally bare minimum as far as information from you goes. So, okay. All right. Well, that's all that I wanted to ask. If you want to
Sure,
go back
no,
with
that's fine.
Kevin, hang out, or
Kevin's, he's just exhausted. I'll leave him alone for a minute and let him close his eyes, and I'll walk back down there in
Sounds
a
good.
few minutes and
Okay.
just visit with Tracy.
not a problem. Thanks.
We're not recording, are we?
We were just because I was in the.
Did you do anything else that evening?
No, I did not. Well, yes, I did. Sorry.
No more interviews though, right?
What's that?
No additional interviews.
No additional interviews.
What additional things did you do?
I collected DNA from Tracy, Kevin, and Caitlin.
And how did you do that?
We have buccal swabs. It's just where we stick a little like Q-tip in their mouth, to get DNA that way and collected fingernails with clippers.
Did you take any other steps in this investigation as the days progressed?
Yes, I did.
What else were you assigned to do?
On the 17th, we went back with a warrant, collected a couple more electronics. The day after, on the 18th, we had another warrant to seize a air tag, which we found that was on the truck that was at the house belonging to Caitlin and her husband. And then later in October, I went to.
Well, let's go with the 18th for a second before we move on. Did you perform a search of the truck consistent with that warrant?
Yes, I did.
Did you have your body cam rolling while you performed that search?
Yes, I did.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 92.
Any objection?
There's a short clip from that search. Would you please publish 92? Okay, go ahead. Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Is this your body cam we're watching?
Yes, it is.
Who is that there with you?
That is Detective Wetton. Thank you.
Pause it there for a second, please. What is that? What is the video depicting right now?
That is me holding the air tag that.
And where was it found?
In a little, I don't know if it was a trash bin or just a container, a little felt container that they had in the truck.
Okay, was it at the bottom of it?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Did that end your involvement for the initial arrest of Kevin Ellis?
Yes.
Did you eventually participate further in this investigation?
Yes, I did.
What additional steps did you take?
In October, we received another warrant to arrest Tracey Grist.
And anybody else?
Not as far as I was concerned. No.
You were only assigned to one warrant?
Yes, I was.
Okay, thanks. Pass witness.
Cross?
Officer Fraughton, the first exhibit we looked at was your body cam interview with Tracey. You recall watching that just a few months ago.
Yes, I do.
And in that interview, you read Tracey her rights, correct?
Yes, I did.
And she volunteered to answer questions you had.
Yes, she did.
And you seemed quite confused about some of her answers, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And is one of the reasons for that is because you hadn't been to the house and you didn't know like locations of anything?
That's correct.
And did Tracey try and respond to those to educate you on that?
Yes, she did.
And did she do a good job on that?
Yes, I felt I understood her at the end.
Yeah. And so she gave you the layout and she gave you what she did. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And you still had further questions and she was willing to answer those. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Second interview on your body cam, her attorney was present, right?
That's correct.
And she offered to speak with her attorney present, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
And the first thing you said to her virtually was that you felt she was holding things back, right?
That's correct.
Is that because you didn't understand?
No, that was just the feeling that some things were being left out. And I just wanted to see if she would be willing to talk to me further.
Like what were you feeling was left out?
Just again, a lot of her answers just were, I don't know, that she couldn't remember. So I was hoping that the time frame given could help her jog her memory, or just that the feeling I was getting from her was that she was leaving some information out.
Like what?
Just kind of what I was talking about, like what was happening with Kevin, where he was at, and why.
Over there.
Yeah.
Right here.
Well,
So I'm engaging you in examination.
that's
right?
correct.
So,
I'm just addressing the jury. So
okay. I'll move over. Officer, have you been trained how to testify in court?
I would say I've probably been to maybe one, maybe two.
Officer, have you been trained how to testify in court?
Like I said, I've been to probably one or two trainings.
Okay. And you keep avoiding my eye contact, and you keep making contact with the jury. And is that something you're trained to do?
Yeah, the trainings that I've gone to say to address the jury when asked questions.
And why is that?
That's just what they tell you to do.
So they tell you not to address the person who you're engaging with a conversation.
You're not going to object to relevance.
I think it's relevant.
Real loud, but I think you kind of beat that horse.
All right, I'll let the horse go then, Judge. Officer, my client is Tracey Grist. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do.
She cooperated with you when she was interviewed with you, correct?
Yes, she did.
When you collected the air tag, you found it from a canvas bag that was in the truck, right?
That's correct.
And then when you arrested Tracey, did she cooperate with you? Did she run? Did she flee? Did she try to do anything like that?
When we
I'm sorry,
opened
did
the
she
door,
run? Did she flee?
That's what I'm getting to. When we opened the door, she did run up the stairs when she was told to stop.
So she was going upstairs.
That's correct.
Okay. Was there an exit upstairs?
Not that I'm aware, no.
And was Kate living at that house at the same time?
It was at a different apartment in, I believe, Salt Lake County.
Okay. Officer Froughton, did you attend post?
Yes, I did.
Did you write a report as it relates to your interactions on this case?
Yes, I did.
And on your first interaction, which was July 13th, early in the morning, did you write a report that day before your shift was over?
I would have to look at my report to see when it was written, but I did write a report, yes, on that interaction on the 13th.
You write your report short in time in relation to the events?
I believe that it was a pretty long night. And again, I'd have to look and see exactly when I wrote my report.
Have you been trained about writing your reports short in time in relation to events?
I believe so, yes.
Meaning not waiting a long time before you write the report?
Yes, that's good.
What's the reason you're trained to do that?
Just probably memory, so that you're not forgetting anything.
Have you been trained that if you wait more, then your memory lapses, and so it's better to write a report short in time to the event to ensure better memory?
I would say so.
Thank you. One more, Officer Front. I just want to look at my notes. One second. But I always have to look at them with a pen in my hand. I don't know why.
No worries.
And you've been an officer 8 years?
That's correct.
And just to clarify, in Exhibit 91, which is your body cam, she informed you that she didn't hear any confrontation and no conversation between her, between Kevin and the deceased Matthew Ellis. Is that right?
That's correct.
I have no further questions. Thank you, officer.
Thank you. Any redirect?
One very quick follow-up. When writing your report, do you have any tools available to you to refresh your memory?
Yes, I do.
What are those?
I have access to my body cam to review what I had discussed and talked with her about.
Great, thank you. That'd be great.
Recross?
No, Your Honor, thanks.
May this officer be excused from his subpoena?
Please.
Yes.
Thank you, officer.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The state calls Sergeant Falmina.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
You raise your right hand, I'll swear you in. You swear or affirm under the laws of the state of Utah, including your perjury, that the testimony given in this matter is fair, the truth, right, so help you God. Yes. Good. Please have a seat up there.
Good afternoon, Sergeant. How are you?
Good.
Would you please introduce yourself to the jury by telling them your name and where you're employed?
Yes, my name is Jen Famuina, and I'm employed with the Utah Department of Public Safety.
Would you mind spelling your last name for the record?
Yes, of course. It is spelled Faumuina.
How long have you been a law enforcement officer?
I've been an officer now for 13 years.
And what degrees do you hold?
I hold a bachelor's degree as well as a master's degree from Weber State University.
Okay. And what is your job title?
My job title is I am a sergeant within our State Bureau of Investigation.
And if I call State Bureau of Investigation SBI, are we good with that term?
Yes.
Okay. What is your role at SBI? What do you do?
Yeah, so I supervise a team. We oversee threats, but some of the things I do, I also oversee our evidence response team as well as our 3D scanning team.
Is the 3D scanning team related to the Faro technology?
Yes, it is.
And do you have specialized training to work with Faro?
Yes.
And what would be your experience level with Faro technology?
Yeah, so I've been trained as a user for this technology, as well as I'm also trained as a certified instructor for it.
Could you explain to the jury what a Faro scan is?
Yeah, you bet. So a Faro scanner, what it is, it's like a really big, or I wouldn't say big, but it's a high precision 3D device that's placed on a tripod. And with this device, it acts similar to like a flashlight. So when you have a flashlight, you know, it's gonna illuminate things, but with the scanner instead, what it's doing, it's actually capturing what it can see, but it can only capture whatever it's, what is in their line of sight. And so once it captures all that, it's then able to create basically a 3D digital version of the scene. But however, like I said, it's only within the line of sight. So for example, if we're to capture this courtroom here, what we'll do is that we'll actually move that scanner to other areas within this courtroom so that it can capture things that were not, I guess, were out of view or were blocked in some way from other locations. And with the points or with what it's capturing, it is then able to be combined together to create this final product of what we like to call a 3D digital version of the scene, so that it allows others to see it as well as view it as it existed at the time it was captured.
Okay, so to summarize, it's essentially a scanner that uses light to scan a 3D space, creates a data set that you can then use to create a digital replica in 3D of the scene at the time that it was scanned.
Yes.
Okay. I want to direct your attention to the night of July 12th, possibly the early morning of July 13th. Was SBI asked to assist American Fork PD on that day?
Yes, they were.
Specifically, were they asked to assist with performing one of these Faro scans?
Yes.
Did officers go out and use a Faro scanner to scan the scene?
Yes, they did.
And was a digital replica created thereafter?
Yes.
And who created that digital replica?
I did.
And to just be very clear, the digital replica is up the point in time where the scan is made. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So if the police or paramedics or anyone else has already been through the scene, we're capturing the scene after that has happened.
Well, I'm sorry.
If the scan has happened after police or paramedics have come through the scene, we're capturing at the point in time of scan, even if it's after all that.
Yes.
Okay. In the context of a Faro scan, what's a flyby?
A flyby is basically like the visual walkthrough of the scene. And but instead you can view it on your phone or computer instead of actually being there.
State moves into evidence exhibit 86, the flyby of this case.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. So ordered, thank you.
Publish to the jury, please. And play when it's on their screen. Okay, go ahead. Hey, could you back up 1 second before it flips perspective? Yeah, right there is fine. Sergeant Falmina, we see some yellow triangles with numbers. What are those?
Those are digital evidence markers that were superimposed into the 3D version you see here that was superimposed over the physical evidence markers on scene.
And is that just to make the evidence markers more visible on the digital replica?
Yes.
And I see a black box here. What is that?
That black box is just, it's covering the decedent.
It's essentially a redaction where the body is.
Yes.
Okay. And lastly, we see some parts on this scan that don't have color, don't have a visual indicator. It basically looks like it's missing. Is that because the Faro scan, as you mentioned, only can scan what it sees? And
Yes.
that's just a missing part where it didn't capture something?
Yes.
Okay. We can take that down. In the context of a Faro scan, what's an aerial view?
An aerial view is almost like it's similar to a walkthrough as well. It's just a top view of the scene.
Did you create any aerial views in this case?
Yes, I did.
Did you create an aerial view out in the street area and then an aerial view in the house area?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves into evidence exhibits 87 and 88.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. Thank you. So ordered.
Please publish 87. Okay, what is exhibit 87?
This is the top view of the residence as well as the street view.
Okay. And then please move to 88. And what is 88?
This is the top view of the residence.
And are these the same evidence markers and black box for the body?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further, Judge.
Cross. Thank you, Ms. Stickman.
May we release the witness from the subpoena?
Any objection? No objection. Thank you.
Can we take a break real quick, Your Honor?
Yes, let me talk with both of you. So let's take a brief recess for the jury.
All rise for the jury.
Bring the jury back, please. So we're back on the record of State versus Grist 2411070. The jury back for recess for the evening.
Stations. Who we do all this work on?
All rise for the jury.
Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have some announcements and some directions for tomorrow and this evening. We're ahead of schedule. That's always a good thing. So we're going to recess for the evening. I'm going to let you go home. We're going to start tomorrow at 9 a.m. for a couple of reasons. One, we're supposed to have bad weather tomorrow. You know how we are in Utah. When we get bad weather the first time, everybody drives like they've never seen snow before. So if we start at 9, we'll have a sunny, beautiful day. If we start at 8:30, it'll be a blizzard. So we're going to shoot for 9 and have it be sunny.